China exempts outsourced U.S. chips from tariffs, targets U.S.-made semiconductors. China's import tariffs on U.S. goods exempt American semiconductor firms that outsource manufacturing, the China Semiconductor Industry Association said in a WeChat post Friday, according to Reuters. For all integrated circuits, whether packaged or unpackaged, the declared country of origin for import customs purchases is the location of the wafer fabrication plant, the CSIA explained. This means companies like Qualcomm and AMD, which use Taiwan semiconductor manufacturing for production, are exempt since their chips are classified as originating from Taiwan. In contrast, chips made by Intel, Texas Instruments, ADI, and ON Semiconductor, which operate their own US-based fabs, may be classified as US origin and be liable for tariff rates of 84% or higher, the CSIA added. China raised its tariffs on US imports from 84% to 125%, effective April 12th, and said it would ignore any further tariff hikes from Washington. Meanwhile, the White House confirmed that total tariffs on Chinese goods entering the U.S. will reach 145%. Trump exempts electronics from tariffs, but semiconductor tariffs loom. The Trump administration exempted smartphones, computers, and other electronics, mainly from China, from reciprocal tariffs, offering temporary relief to U.S. tech firms like Apple, Nvidia, and Dell. The exemptions cover widely used items including smartphones, laptops, computer processors, memory chips, flat-panel TV displays, solar cells, and hard drives. However, Politico reported Sunday that President Trump plans to direct the Commerce Department to begin an investigation that may result in new tariffs on semiconductors, citing an unnamed White House official. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick said the move is just a temporary reprieve, with those items likely to face semiconductor tariffs in a month or two. Trump said on Saturday he will provide an update on the proposed semiconductor tariffs on Monday. He has previously floated imposing tariffs in the neighborhood of 25% on automobiles, semiconductors, and pharmaceutical imports.
Tesla halts Model S and X orders in China amid ongoing tariff fallout, Reuters and the New York Times. Tesla's Model S and Model X, both made in the US and imported to China, have been impacted by the ongoing US-China tariff war. In 2024, Tesla delivered just over 2,000 units of these models in China, focusing instead on the Model 3 and Model Y. AI robot player Richtech Robotics gains after HC. Wainwright points to significant upside. Analyst Scott Buck sees strong long-term potential for Richtech Robotics, citing tech advancements, labor shortages, and a favorable customer return on investment following the shift to a robot-as-a-service model as key growth drivers. Richtech is addressing staffing gaps in food and beverage with robots like Scorpion, which serves wines and liquors with sommelier-like flair. The company is also advancing robots for hospital deliveries, Medbot, heavy load transportation, Titan, and beverage-serving robots, ADAM. Palantir to deploy AI Maven system for NATO operations. Palantir finalized a deal with NATO's Communications and Information Agency to deploy its Maven smart system within NATO's allied command operations. The AI-powered system, already in use across all US military branches, is expected to be operational at NATO within 30 days to enhance battlefield capabilities.
Rocket Lab selected for multi-billion-dollar US and UK hypersonic defense programs. Rocket Lab announced it has been selected to provide hypersonic test launch services using its HASTE vehicle as part of two multi-billion-dollar defense programs for both the US and UK governments. In the US, it will participate in the Air Force's $46 billion enterprise-wide Agile Acquisition Contract, an indefinite delivery, indefinite quantity program running through 2031 to fast-track the acquisition of advanced technologies and engineering services. Additionally, Rocket Lab has been selected by the UK Ministry of Defense to participate in its $1.3 billion hypersonic technologies and capability development framework aimed at accelerating hypersonic innovation.
China suspends rare earth exports in retaliation to US tariffs, the New York Times. While a new regulatory framework is being developed, shipments of critical rare earth magnets, used in everything from cars to missiles, have been halted at many ports, according to the report. On April 4th, China restricted exports of 6 heavy rare earth elements, which are refined solely in China, as well as rare earth magnets. As the source of 90% of the world's rare earths, this move impacts key sectors like defense, EVs, energy and electronics. Meanwhile, China's rare earth exports surged 20.31% in March from a year earlier amid global supply disruptions from conflict-hit Myanmar.
MP Materials soars 21.65% after Trump's seabed mining executive order report. MP Materials surged 21.65% in Monday's trading, following a report that President Trump is planning an executive order to allow the stockpiling of critical metals from the Pacific Ocean seabed. The U.S. is considering fast-tracking deep-sea mining applications and stockpiling metals, including rare earth minerals, as part of a broader effort to boost domestic production of critical resources. Trump has used emergency powers to enhance U.S. production of critical minerals, aiming to reduce reliance on imports from China and other countries by boosting domestic natural resource development. Google rolls out VO2 video model for Gemini users. Google announced Tuesday that Gemini Advanced users can now generate videos using its new VO2 model. By better understanding real-world physics and human motion, VO2 delivers fluid character movement, lifelike scenes, and finer visual details across diverse subjects and styles, the company said in a blog post. Gemini Advanced is priced at $19.99 a month and is included in the Google One AI Premium plan. U.S. government hits Nvidia with H20 export curbs to China. Nvidia disclosed on Tuesday that it received a notice from the U.S. government stating that it now needs a special license to ship its H20 GPUs and related hardware to China indefinitely. Due to this development, the company expects a $5.5 billion charge in its upcoming quarterly results. Nvidia shares fell 6% in early post-market trading Tuesday.
Aurora Innovation gains analyst upgrades on 1 trillion autonomous trucking potential. Aurora Innovation is gaining bullish attention from analysts for its leadership in autonomous trucking. Needham analyst Chris Pierce highlighted its potential to leverage the Aurora driver platform and key partnerships to create the market for autonomous trucking on U.S. highways. Aurora Innovation is poised to capture share in a $1 trillion market by generating revenue on a per-mile driven basis, addressing key industry challenges, and enabling faster, more cost-effective freight transportation. Needham set a price target of $10. Oppenheimer upgraded it to outperform with a $15 target, and Goldman Sachs recently upgraded the stock to neutral from sell.
Tesla halts shipments as soaring tariffs threaten key models. Reuters. Tesla initially planned to absorb 34% tariffs, but as rates rose, the costs became unsustainable, forcing the company to suspend its shipping plans. Tariff hikes to 84%, then 125%, then 145%, and now 245% have made it financially unviable for Tesla to source components from China. Heavy tariffs jeopardize Tesla's ability to deliver key upcoming models that Elon Musk has touted as major growth drivers. Tesla was expected to begin receiving component shipments in the coming months, begin trial production of 2 models in October, and start mass production in 2026. The Cybercab is set for production in Texas and the Semi in Nevada, but the timeline is uncertain due to the suspension. Tesla, like other U.S. automakers, depends on a global supply chain, sourcing many parts from countries like China, Mexico, and Canada. China faces up to 245% tariff on select exports to U.S. The White House clarified that a maximum tariff rate of 245% on some Chinese imports, initially cited in an April 15th fact sheet related to a critical minerals probe, refers to a combination of new fentanyl and reciprocal tariffs alongside existing Section 301 tariffs from previous administrations. A bullet point in the fact sheet stated, China now faces up to a 245% tariff on imports to the United States as a result of its retaliatory actions. Examples of Chinese exports subject to this 245% top rate include electric vehicles and syringes.
AMD faces up to $800 million charges from new AI chip export licenses to China. Advanced Micro Devices anticipates that new licensing requirements by the US government for exporting its MI308 artificial intelligence chips to China could lead to charges as high as $800 million.